A very good evening and welcome to the news live on Channel Live.
A very good evening to you. I'm Sharifa Tahir.
I'm Javed Bongzo.
President Mahinda Rajapaksa vested with the Sasana today the new resting hall of the historical Maligawala Purana Raja Mahaviharaya in Munaragala. This hall will provide facilities for the devotees coming to worship the Viharaya from faraway places. The President visited the Viharaya this morning and performed religious rites.
විහාරාධිපති පූජ්‍ය උලපාන චන්ද්‍රජෝති නාහිමිපාණන් වහන්සේ බැහැදුටු ජනාධිපතිතුමා උන්වහන්සේගේද සුව දුක් විමසා බැලීය. සදහැවතුන් 200 දෙනෙකුට එකවර නවාතැන් පහසුකම් සහිතව විශ්‍රාමශාලාව ඉදිකෙරින. The President met the chief incumbent of the Viharaya, Venerable Unnapana Chandrajyoti Nayakathera, and inquired about his health situation. විහාරස්ථානයේ සතු ක්‍රිස්තු වර්ෂ 7 වන සියවසට අයත් හිටිපිලිම වහන්සේගේ ආරක්ෂාවට ආවරණයක් සැලසන්නයි ජනාධිපතිතුමා. The resting hall has been erected to provide facilities for 200 devotees at a time. 20 million rupees has been spent for its construction. The President instructed the officials to provide a roofing facility for the Hittipilimaya in the Viharaya, which belongs to the 7th century. The President also had a cordial chat with the students of the Dhamma school of the Viharaya. Ministers Jagat Pushpakumara and Sumedha G. Jayasena, the Chief Minister Shashindra Rajapaksha and several others attended the function.
President Mahinda Rajapaksa visited the new reconstructed Badalkumbura town with the people today. The Badalkumbura town has been developed as a fully fledged modern town under the theme of Apihadamu Nava Uwave Lassak. The town has modernized under the Rural Town Development Program. It has been planned to facilitate the people to get their work done without any inconvenience. Marking the first visit by a state leader to the Badalkumbura town, the President unveiled the plaque of the town. After that, the town was vested with the people.
Badalkumbura ප්‍රදේශවාසීන් විසින් ජනාධිපතිතුමා මහත් හර්ෂයෙන් පිළිගනු ලැබීය.
The people of the Badalkumbura area warmly welcomed the President to the town. They also fed the President with traditional food items. It is significant that the people presented to the President the agri-produce of the area in gratification of development of their town.
ජනාධිපතිතුමාට සාම්ප්‍රදායික ආහාර පාන වලින් සංග්‍රහ කළහ. කිසිදා නොවු ලෙස තම පළාත සංවර්ධනය කිරීම ගැන කෘතිවේදීත්වය පළ කරමින් ජනතාව ජනාධිපතිතුමාට කෘෂි නිෂ්පාදන පරිත්‍යාග කිරීමද විශේෂත්වයකි.
In line with the development of the Badalkumbura town, the Pasaramun Ragala road will also be developed at a cost of 2,700 million rupees. The President instructed the officials to expedite this road construction work. The President also declared open the two-storied Badalkumbura Pradesha Sabha building constructed at a cost of 15 million rupees. Ministers Jagat Pushpakumara and Sumedha G. Jayasena, the Governor of the Uwa Province Nanda Matthew, the Chief Minister Shashindra Rajapaksa and the Chairman of the Pradesha Sabha R.M. Vijayadasa and several others attended the function.
Several hundred thousands of people pay their last respect to the former South African president, the late Nelson Mandela. The funeral will be held on the 15th of this month. The funeral parade of the late Nelson Mandela is to parade the streets of Pretoria for 3 days. His remains is to be kept at the Union Building, which is a main state building in South Africa. In showing respect to the late Nelson Mandela, the national flags of the United States, Britain and France were kept at half-mast in the main towns. A street in London is also to be named as Nelson Mandela Street. The leading politicians, artists, scholars and social activists have sent their condolences on the demise of Nelson Mandela. Pope Francis, in his condolence message, has stated that the immense service rendered by Nelson Mandela to establish a peaceful South Africa will be remembered forever. Queen Elizabeth II has also sent a condolence message. The American President Barack Obama has stated in his condolence message that Nelson Mandela received the highest honor and the love a person in the world could receive. President Mahinda Rajapaksa also sent a message yesterday expressing his deep condolences and the condolences of the government and the people of Sri Lanka. The president in his message stated that Nelson Mandela, who represented the honor of humanity in the recent history of the world, will remain forever in the hearts and minds of the humanity. The South African President Jacob Zuma has requested the people of South Africa to join for expressing their honor and condolence at the funeral of the late Nelson Mandela.
Members of the parliament expressed their condolences today on the demise of the former South African President Nelson Mandela. The Speaker of the House endorsed the sentiments expressed by the members of the government and the opposition. The Leader of the House, Minister Nimal Siripal de Silva, said the Parliament, the government and the people of Sri Lanka take this occasion to express their deepest condolences on the death of the great South African leader Nelson Mandela, who was a symbol of freedom struggle and a freedom fighter who fought against the cruelties of the apartheid.
I join my colleague in expressing the condolence of our House and of this country on the passing away of Nelson Mandela.
The Speaker Chamal Rajapaksa said that he also joins with the sentiments expressed by the House on the demise of Nelson Mandela, who was a great freedom fighter in the recent history and who was successful in ending the cruel apartheid policies of South Africa.
Today is the International Civil Aviation Day. The Civil Aviation Service of Sri Lanka, which was started in the year 1912, has completed 101 years. After the ending of 30 years of terrorism from the motherland, the Civil Aviation Service industry is carrying out a significant service in the country. The Civil Aviation Service also contributes to the strengthening of the tourism industry. The fleet of the Sri Lankan Airlines has been increased to 21 aircrafts. The Air Congo service, or rather the Air Cargo service, has also been widened. The Mihin Lanka company has also increased its fleet to 3 aircrafts. The number of registered airlines in Sri Lanka has increased to 59. After the year 2008, 11 new airline services have started air services to Sri Lanka. Under the Katunayake Airport Development Project, it has been planned to increase the annual passenger capacity to 5 million passengers. The second international airport of the country has been commissioned at Mattala. The Ampara Airport has also been developed. The Batticaloa Airport is being renovated. The Ratmalana Airport has been developed as a centre for providing facilities for international level small aircrafts. Special programs are also being held to train air service personnel required for the next decade. The students are being enlightened about the aviation sector through the programs carried out by the Guansar Society affiliated to schools. The Minister of Civil Aviation, Priyankara Jayaratne, said that these development activities in the aviation sector are being carried out in accordance with the Mahinda Chintana Future Vision program of making Sri Lanka an aviation hub of Asia.
The Consumer Affairs Authority states that certain multinational companies are hoarding milk powder stocks and creating an artificial and an unwanted scarcity. The chairman of the Consumer Affairs Authority, Rumi Marzouk, said that it is the aim of the companies to get the price of milk powder increased. All hoarded stocks of milk powder will be taken into custody. Mr. Marzouk said that certain legal action will be taken against traders who hoard milk powder stocks and attempt to create a shortage of essential items during the festive season.
Continuing with more local stories, those who have acquired electrician training on NVQ 4 level will be directed to obtain apprentice training under the Ceylon Electricity Board. The training program will be jointly conducted by the Ministries of Youth and Skills Development and the Power and Energy together with the Ceylon Electricity Board. 431 persons who completed theoretical training on electrician courses for 1 year at the Technology and Industrial Colleges were presented certificates at a function held in Colombo today. They have been assigned to obtain a streamlined industrial training at the Ceylon Electricity Board for a period of 3 years. An MOU in this connection was signed between the two ministries on the 23rd of August this year. The trainees will also be given a living allowance during the training period, and upon successfully completing the training, they will be given NVQ 4 certificates. It is the objective of this program to fulfill the requirement of professional electricians in the state sector and other institutions. Minister Dallas Alaparma said that if the trainees have completed their training successfully and served the electricity board dedicatedly and strengthened the activities of the electricity board by their dedication, at the end of the 3-year training they will get employment at the electricity board. Minister Pavitra Vanyarachi said that after they received the training at the electricity board under the program, they could get employment at the electricity board. She said that these trainees could also achieve high goals in the field of electricity. President Mahinda Rajapaksa has said a mechanism for solving problems of the rural people in their area itself is required. The poverty level should be further reduced. The President has emphasized that the present government will never hesitate to fulfill the aspirations and requirements of the rural people. The President made these comments at a function held in connection with declaring open of the multi-purpose building company of the Bibila Pradeshya Sabha. The government has spent 30 million rupees for the construction of this building complex, which was a long-felt need of the people of Bibila. The building comprised all modern facilities. The President pointed out that everyone should take the necessities of the era into their hearts and should jointly work for the development of the country. The President said that there is 100% development in Jaffna. He said that this is a matter to be very proud of, since Jaffna, which is engulfed in the war which took guns into their hands, have come to this higher level. The President asked who was responsible for this development. He asked whether it was the LTTE or the TNA. He said it is none of them, but the government is responsible for this development. The President pointed out by espousing communalism, this kind of development cannot be achieved. The President recalled that when the father was weeping as the child died was seen in places like Okampitia. He said that in many places the life activities were destroyed due to terrorism and the children were unable to go to schools. The President said that the mothers have become used to training their children for examinations such as grade 5 scholarship examinations, GCE ordinary level examinations and Dhamma school examinations. The President said that freedom should be given to the children. Speaking further, the President said that the village and the towns should be kept clean and tidy, and only then places like Bibila will become beautiful.
මේ නගරේට එන මිනිහෙකුට පේන්න තියෙන්න ඕන පාර දෙපැත්ත පිරිසිදුයි. පිටරටින් එන හැමෝම ඇවිල්ලා කියනවා මේ රට පිරිසිදුයි කියලා. කාටද ආඩම්බර? ජාතියකට. මේ රටේ ජනතාව. මේ ලස්සන කරපු දවසට ඔබත් ලස්සන වෙයි. බිබිලත් ලස්සන වෙයි.
Ministers Vijit Vijayamani Soisa, Jagat Pushpakumar, Sumedaji Jayasena, A.L.M. Ataula, the governor of the Uva province, Nanda Matthew, the chief minister Shashindra Rajapaksha and the deputy minister Indika Bandaranaike also attended the function.
1,998 nurses who completed 3 years of training received their diploma certificates at a function held at the Sugadasa Indoor Stadium in Colombo today. Minister of Health Maithripala Sirisena was the chief guest at this function. The nurses who acquired practical and theoretical training for 3 years at 18 nurses colleges throughout the country received the diploma certificates. The Minister of Health has also enlightened the Cabinet about this awarding of diploma certificates to the nurses. The President and the Cabinet of Ministers have approved the awarding of certificates, which is being carried out to raise the quality of services of the nurses. The Minister speaking at the function said that for the first time in the history of Sri Lanka, another 6,025 persons will be enrolled for nursing services on the 17th of this month. Minister Maithripala Sirisena said that with the present strength of the nursing staff and around 7,000 trainees who are to be enrolled for the nursing colleges in the future, the government is planning to increase the strength of the nursing service to 36,000. He said that it is the objective of the government to have a better nursing service than increasing the number of the staff. The minister said that it is the responsibility of the nursing staff to provide the service of high standard as envisaged by the government and the people.
ඒ ගුණාත්මක සේවාවේ වගකීම ඔබටයි.
The Secretary to the Ministry of Health, Dr. Niyal Jatilaka, Director General of Health Services, Dr. Partha Mahipala, the Chairperson of the University Grants Commission, Dr. Mrs. Shanika Hirumburegama, and several others attended the function.
The Supreme Court has ordered the Colombo High Court to inquire daily the case against Tiger terrorist suspect who attempted to hurl a bomb against Defence Secretary Gotabaya Rajapaksa. The Attorney General has filed the case under the Prevention of Terrorism Act. The Tiger terrorist suspect has been accused of attempting to blast a suicide bomb targeting the Defence Secretary in the Kolpiti area in the year 2006. The suspect has also submitted a fundamental rights petition requesting to free him from this charge. The Attorney General Mohan Piris told the courts when the case was called for inquiry and the appeal of the terrorist suspect cannot be entertained. The Attorney General also asked the Colombo High Court to inquire the case on a daily basis and conclude the case expeditiously.
Still on local news, police investigations have revealed that the fire that engulfed and destroyed more than 100 shops at the Bodhiraja Matha in Peta last night was not an act carried by any person, or it was not sabotage. The fire started around 8 p.m. last night. The security forces personnel and the fire brigade doused the fire within a period of 1 hour. The fire has destroyed items such as clothing and footwear. The police media spokesman, Senior Police Superintendent Ajit Rohana, said that there was no victim from the fire. He said the fire was caused by a lamp which was within one of the shops. He said that the government analyst has informed that it has been investigated whether the fire spread from a small generator that was in the location. However, he said that this fire has not been caused by an outsider.
The inter-school Christmas carol organized in connection with Christmas was held at the Temple Trees yesterday under the patronage of the First Lady, Madam Shiranti Rajapaksa. It was arranged by the Tharuneta Hedak organization. The carols is being organized annually under a concept of the parliamentarian Namal Rajapaksa. At this year's carol, students from 7 schools representing Colombo and Kandy districts participated. The carol was a competitive one and the winners of this year's carol were St. Lawrence Convent in Ballavata. The First Lady presented the awards to the winners and wished them for prosperous and a happy Christmas.
I think after this next announcement, we're going to know the winners are here.
The Ministry of Foreign Employment Development and Welfare has obtained the International Quality Management Certificate of ISO 9001-2008. The Ministry's program of providing a commendable service to the people and streamlined administration has been taken into account in providing this certification. The Minister of Foreign Employment Development and Welfare, Dilan Pereira, presented the certificate to President Mahinda Rajapaksa at Temple Trees recently. This is the first time a ministry of this country has obtained this certification.
The Sri Lankan cricket team left to the United Arab Emirates to participate in a series with the Pakistan cricket team. The series will comprise of 2 T20 matches, 5 one-day matches and 3 test matches. The first 2020 match will be played at Dubai International Stadium on the 11th of this month. Sri Lankan team will be led by Dinesh Chandimal. The second 2020 match is scheduled to be played on the 13th of this month. The first one-day match will be played on the 18th of this month. Angelo Matthews will lead the Sri Lankan team in one-day matches. The test matches series will start on the 31st of December.
Good night.
Good night.